night for baseball, and Blue Jays will try to even the series at a game apiece. They lost 5-2 last night to Ubaldo Jimenez and the Baltimore Orioles. Zach Britton picked up his 7th save. The Blue Jays actually rallied in the ninth, but fell short. They stranded a couple base runners late. Take a look at the starting lineup. Different look, top of the order. Right out of the chute, it's Ezequiel Carrera leading off. This will be his 33rd career game at the leadoff spot. He's been swinging a hot bat of late. Since his call-up, he's hitting .333 with 7 RBIs. Then right behind him, Josh Donaldson is off to a great start in his Blue Jays career. Against Chris Tillman, the Orioles starting tonight. He's hit .385 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Jose Bautista back in the lineup as the DH tonight.
This is Chris Tillman, who makes his 7th start of the season. He's trying to avoid losing a career-high 4th straight start. He has been ripped for 13 earned runs over his last 17 innings pitched, and losing to the Jays, Tampa Bay, and the New York Yankees. He hasn't finished 6 innings in 4 of his 6 starts. He was saying in his last start he needs to execute a little bit better on his pitches. You can see in those stats right there, an ERA over 6. That's not Chris Tillman.
Chris Tillman is a fly ball pitcher, and the outfield defense is going to be important tonight. It's the former Blue Jay in left field, Travis Snyder, Adam Jones, a 4-time Gold Glovers in center, Delman Young's in right. On the infield, it's Machado and Hardy on the left side. Steve Pearce came in from left field to play second last night. This is his 6th start. Chris Davis is at first, and Caleb Joseph is behind the plate for Chris Tillman.
You know, and before this season, Steve Pearce had never played second base in the major leagues. The Orioles already this year have used 5 players at second base. They are really fighting the injury bug.
Tillman is set. Here's the first pitch to Carrera. It's in there for a strike, and we are underway. Mentioned Carrera. This is the 33rd time he's hit leadoff. He is hitting there in place of Devin Travis, who's just getting a night off.
Well, he adds a nice dimension that the Blue Jays really haven't had since Jose Reyes went on the disabled list. Some speed at the top of that lineup, the ability to steal bases.
Carrera drove in both of the Blue Jays runs last night. There's a slow breaking ball in there. It's a 1-2. So Devin Travis a little bit banged up. He has really had some tough plays around the bag at second. Just an opportunity to give him a night off. He has played in 31 games. This is popped up shallow left field. Left fielder Snyder calls for it and makes the catch. Chris Tillman has had his problems, as Pat mentioned. He's lost 3 straight, and it's been the same type of story against the Blue Jays.
Every single one of those, and I think here's the dynamics of that. Chris Tillman is a high ball type of pitcher. He's right over the top, and he pitches at the top part of the strike zone. Blue Jays are very good fastball hitters, and they crush pitches that are up over the strike zone. And you can see the opponent's batting average .351 in those last 5 starts. He's going to have to get the ball down and change speeds.
This is Josh Donaldson, 1 for 4 in the game last night. He goes after that first pitch. It's short hopped at second by Pearce. 2 quick outs in the first.
The designated hitter, number 19, Jose Bautista.
Well, the Oriole fans are savvy. They understand there is some bad blood between the Blue Jays and the Orioles, and Bautista has been front and center along with Adam Jones and Darren O'Day. 217 for the season. Takes the first pitch down and away. Bautista has a couple of home runs against Tillman. He's a .267 hitter, 8 for 30 against the Orioles right-handed. Bautista's dealing with that bad shoulder. He injured his shoulder on a throw on April 21st against the Orioles and hasn't been able to play in the field since.
Yeah, first start against the Orioles since that happened back at Rogers Center. Jose did pinch hit in last night's ball game and just saw 1 pitch.
Two and one. Tillman set. Bautista pops it up on the infield. Third baseman Manny Machado calls for it, takes it near the mound. Quick inning for Chris Tillman. Blue Jays go down in order. Mark Burley will take the mound when we come back to Baltimore. his Orioles this season, and it was Ubaldo Jimenez who beat them both of those times. Let's take a look now at the lineup for the Orioles. Manny Machado has been leading off, and he had a home run leadoff spot last night, first inning. Jimmy Paredes, switch hitter, hitting second in DH spot. Chris Davis, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs in his last 14 games. He's a streaky hitter that's starting to heat up a bit. Travis Snyder, he's got good numbers against Mark Burley. He's 5 for 9. He's a left fielder today, former Blue Jay, batting 8th in the Orioles lineup.
And Mark Burley is looking to beat Baltimore for the 3rd time already this season. Stopped a personal 2-game losing streak in his last start, beating the division-leading New York Yankees with 5 innings of 1-run ball.
Machado goes after the first pitch and hits a little pop flare down the right side. Manny Machado, we mentioned he homered leading off the game. Hit a 3-2 fastball out over the wall in right. According to the Elias Sports Bureau, at 22 years old, he's the youngest player in the majors to hit a leadoff homer this year. That's a pop. Goins calling for it to shortstop in fair territory. Makes the catch. Well, the Blue Jays thought they had stabilized their outfield defense, but Guerrera is one of 8 players to start in left field for the Blue Jays this year. Kevin Pillar's in center. Chris Colabella makes his 4th start in right. Donaldson has been an anchor at third. He's made 32 starts. Ryan Goins and Tollison up the middle. Tollison making his 1st start at second. Encarnacion at first, and Burley and Russell Martin make up the battery for the Jays tonight.
And Tollison at second base. Devin Travis has started every game except 2 games this year at second base. He's a little banged up. He's a little sore. John Gibbons wanted to give him a day off, so Steve Tollison gets penciled in at second base tonight.
Well, there's a jam shot. Tollison's going to have to hurry bare hands and makes a nice play. His first test, and he answers it easily. So with 2 outs, that'll bring Adam Jones to the plate, and this is the best way to face him. 2 outs, nobody on, because this year in 7 games, he's absolutely worn out the Blue Jays.
He has done some damage against the Blue Jays. Look at that average, almost 500 at on-base percentage of 536. He's hit 6 home runs this year. 3 of them have come against the Blue Jays. So Adam Jones, this is when you want to face him right here. 2 outs, nobody on.
Jones hit a home run in the 7th inning against Steve Delabar. Delabar actually struck out the side in the 7th, but Jones hit the 1-out home run. Burley jumps ahead of Adam Jones. He has hit in all 11 home games for the Orioles this season. Burley, as he has done throughout his career, working very quickly. There's that cutter just off the plate inside.
And that's the pitch I think is going to have to be very important for him tonight against these Oriole hitters, especially the right-handers. He's got to get in there with that cutter.
He gets in there and breaks the bat of Jones. Donaldson will go across the diamond. Good start for Mark Burley. He too retires the side in order in the 1st. April a 234 average, but it's a different story, Pat, in the month of May.
Boy, he just really finds his groove in the month of May. The last 2 years, I think you go back and you look at the spring training. Edwin's been hurt in both spring trainings, and that shows in April. He just didn't have his timing, and then he started getting off in May. Last year, he had that big month of May for the Blue Jays, and when he hits, they win. Last year with that big May, they went 21-9.
Turned everything around for the Blue Jays, and actually the Blue Jays were in first place until July 3rd. Encarnacion had a big impact in that run in May. Pulls it on the ground. Machado at third takes his time. One pitch, one out here in the second. Well, the Orioles are starting to get healthy, and that's the one thing the Blue Jays would like to do as well, get their players back. First, you got to get Bautista back in right field, then Reyes back at shortstop. Hopefully Navarro will come back, and I understand that he has had a bit of a setback with his hamstring, and Reyes is getting close to possibly going out and playing a bit.
Jose was on the field today during batting practice. He was taking some ground balls. He's with the ball club, getting his work in and getting his treatment. Yeah, you get everybody back and you get them healthy, and this is still a really good offense, even with those three guys that you just named out.
They've done a nice job, and Russell Martin's had a big part of that. He has really done a great job. 281 average, 7 homers, and 19 RBIs for the Blue Jays backstop.
Even without those players that you were just talking about, and that's some big chunk of your offense. The Blue Jays still lead the American League in runs scored.
This is a high fly ball into shallow right. Pierce going out. Delman Young, the right fielder, calls for it, makes the pitch.
Save during the Lawn and Garden Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
One of the prettiest ballparks in all of baseball, Oriole Park at Camden Yards, the warehouse out beyond the wall in right field. They've done a terrific job of incorporating this ballpark into the center of this city. This is Chris Colabello. Colabello, as we have mentioned before, was the International League Player of the Month for April, playing at AAA Buffalo. And he's continued to swing that hot bat right into the big leagues.
Teams like to bring up their players who get hot, and they bring them to the big leagues so they can continue that trend.
Ground ball. J.J. Hardy's not going to have a play. He may have hurt himself, too. It looked like he twisted his wrist very awkwardly when he caught that, but it's yet another hit for Chris Colabello.
This time right back through the middle. Even if Hardy comes up throwing, I don't think he's going to get Colabello over at first base. You were just talking about the injuries to both of these teams, the Baltimore Orioles, and this one looked very scary right here. Watch the wrist and the glove just flip over right there. You could see the wrist getting jammed just a little bit. He got up, shook it off just a little bit. But
yeah,
that could have been dangerous.
That was scary. Anytime that glove rolls over and you really bend that wrist. Kevin Pillar shoots one to right. Delman Young is there, and the Blue Jays will get a hit. Stranded runner. Chris Tillman through 2 innings. We'll go to the bottom of the second. No score here in Baltimore.
2 weekday matinees. The first one comes your way Monday, May 18th, as the Angels come to town on Victoria Day. That's a 1:07 start. And one that has been changed from a night game to a day game. May 27th, when the White Sox come to town, it is now a 12:37 start. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. Buck.
Thank you, Barry. Great opportunity to come out and enjoy some day baseball in the month of May. This is Delman Young, and Delman Young has feasted on Mark Burley throughout his career, hitting nearly 400 against Burley. He's playing an awful lot and done a good job for them. He has yet to hit a homer. Nice grab by Donaldson on the short hop. Delman Young is retired. Donaldson's had some throwing problems once again, but his fielding has been exceptional. He's got quick hands, great range, and the ability to snare those hot shots.
And you're going to have that, I think, with Mark Burley on the mound. He's got that good sinker. He's got that cutter that he can get in. There's always a lot of ground balls to the left side of the infield when Burley's on the mound.
Mark Burley's now 36 years old. There's a deep drive to right. Colabello is back at the track and makes the catch. Davis going after the first pitch, flies out to right. 5 up, 5 down for Burley.
In last night's ball game, Chris Davis got the first pitch he saw and hit a 2-run home run. He thought he got another one here. First pitch swinging, he just did not get enough of that one. It sounded like it was off the end just a little bit of the bat.
First pitch strike to Steve Pearce, the second baseman.
That is something that Mark Burley did well in his last start against the New York Yankees. First pitch strikes.
There's a fly ball right to the center fielder. Mark Burley is dealing. Just 6 pitches, and he dispatches the Orioles in order in the second.
Live or on demand in True HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and much more. The premium subscription includes free At Bat 15. Watch baseball at home, at the office, or on the go. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And on the app tonight, Chris Archer, who's been so good having his troubles with the Yankees, gave up a pair in the top of the first to the red-hot Yanks.
Everybody's having trouble with the Yankees right now, the way they're swinging the bats. And Chris Archer, who was so good against the Blue Jays early in the season, a little bit of a tough start to his game. 2 runs on 4 hits in the first. This is Ryan Goins. He drops a beauty down the third baseline. Manny Machado throws, not in time. Boy, Goins lucked out. He jumped at that bag, just like you were talking about last night. Kevin Pillar ran through the bag and was able to beat out a throw. That time it looked like he hung up there for a moment in suspension.
And it slows you down. You think you're trying to get there quicker by jumping. You can see Ryan right at the last second leaves his feet. Look how long he's in the air, but he clearly beats that play. And so Goins gets himself an infield hit. Manny Machado, they were out here early today working on that play. That same play right there, that bump play to the third baseman.
Good idea by Goins to drop down that bunt. Leadoff single. Now the number 9 hitter, Steve Tollefson. They could play hit and run right here, right out of the chute. Tillman throws a lot of strikes.
Throws a lot of strikes, and he doesn't throw the ball by you. He's a low 90s type of fastball type of pitcher.
There they go.
Boy, you called it, partner.
You just get a sense that Blue Jays want something to happen. Goins with the leadoff bunt. Tollefson can handle a bat. He's getting the start tonight, and Tillman throws a lot of strikes.
So your idea is to keep the pressure on the Baltimore Orioles. Tolly was just able to foul that ball off. I don't think they do it 2 pitches in a row.
No, element of surprise is gone. Breaking ball. That's why the Blue Jays practice that routine every single day. And sometimes players get a bit bored with it, but boy, it's an important drill. And you got to get the ball on the ground, try to find a hole, move that runner into scoring position, especially when you're hitting 9th.
You're not necessarily trying to hit a base hit. You're trying to hit the ball on the ground. You're protecting that runner at first base. So the least thing you get out of that is you got a runner standing at second base and 1 out, and the leadoff hitter back up.
Yep, top of the order. This is Tollefson's first action since being called back up. Hit and run again, and Davis knocks it down, but Tollefson does his job. He moves Goins into scoring position. Davis made a nice play to save the base hit, but Tollefson moves the runner up.
That would have really been nice if that ball could have gotten by Chris Davis. He's 6'4", and he's very nimble at first base. Watch him bounce off and then react. He had thoughts of maybe throwing to second base to get that lead runner, but when you have an out, you got to take it. You got to get the out, and you did it first.
1 down now, top of the order. Carrera. Ezekiel Carrera had 2 ribbies in last night's games with a pair of doubles, 2 RBI doubles. Off the end of the bat, Tillman knocks it down. He'll have time, goes to first. Goins moves over to third, but now there are 2 outs. So now Josh Donaldson will bat with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Donaldson's been one of the best in the game at picking up base runners. He's 7 for 19 runners in scoring position.
He can hit the ball where it's pitched. That's why he's a good RBI man. He can pick up these 2-out RBIs by using the whole field.
And a good look at that pitch away.
The Orioles are one of the most aggressive, defensive shifting types of teams. But with Josh Donaldson, look where they are. Straight away everywhere. They bunch him in the outfield, slightly to pull on the left side of the infield. That's because Josh Donaldson can hit the ball all over the ballpark.
Staying away with that fastball. Donaldson gathering his thoughts as he steps in with a 1-1 count. J.J. Hardy at shortstop. Just a step to the pull sign. All of these defenses can really go down the drain if your pitcher can't hit his spots. You set up your defense to defend against hard hit balls, and you also defend against a batter given the pitcher locating his pitches. That bat hurled into these seats. It looked like it hit the back of a seat, and it doesn't appear as though anybody is injured.
Yeah, luckily it looked like it hit a railing or a seat over there. That was one of the best changeups that Chris Tillman's ever thrown. Watch this ball just die, and it's got Josh Donaldson way out in front.
Absolutely amazing how that bat misses everybody. You can see how he lost the grip on it, and that's a horrible feeling. You're holding a 32-ounce bat, and all of a sudden you've got nothing. And it hits the back of that seat. Donaldson covering that outside pitch.
The way that ball ricocheted when it got into the stands suggested that it hit a seat, and it certainly did. That thing went about 20 feet after it hit that green seat. Somebody's happy though. The kid's got himself a bat.
A Josh Donaldson bat. 2-2. Off the plate. Donaldson has a good idea about that outside corner, and home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman saw it the same way.
It looks like Josh has gotten right on top of the plate to take away that outside pitch from Tillman. I mean, right on the plate.
Bautista is on deck. Boy, look at how everything is bunched up and away. Donaldson's one of the best low ball hitters in the game. And I think Tillman is wearing out that upper part of the strike zone.
And I think that's why it hasn't been a good matchup so far this season for Chris Tillman. We talked about the last inning that he is a high ball pitcher. His fastball tends to stay in the upper parts of the strike zone, and the Blue Jays hammer those types of pitches.
Bouncing ball, big hop for J.J. Hardy. He throws and scooped it first by Davis. Chris Davis has made a couple of good scoops in this series to save an infielder an error.
Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Utah Street, very active, and a lot of fans enjoying a beautiful night here in Baltimore. That Utah Street is beyond the flag court in right field above the scoreboard. Mark Burley throws a strike to J.J. Hardy. Hardy playing in his 6th game since coming off the disabled list. He injured his shoulder in a collision with Jonathan Scope in spring training. Behind second base, they were reaching for a ground ball. They collided and Hardy bruised his shoulder. J.J. Hardy with a leadoff single here in the 3rd. It's the first Oriole to reach tonight against Burley.
One thing that they missed while he was out was his leadership on the infield. He's one of the best fielding shortstops in baseball. Not flashy. He doesn't make those spectacular plays, but you can count on him day in and day out. There's a changeup from Mark Burley. Watch that ball go down and away. And Hardy's got enough plate coverage to drive that ball right back through the middle.
J.J. Hardy's won the last 3 Gold Gloves at shortstop in the American League. This is Travis Snyder, former Blue Jay #1 pick. Snyder playing against Burley. He's hit well against Burley in the past. Snyder is 5 for 9. That's .556. This time he pulls it foul.
Travis likes to get those arms extended, the ball out over the plate. He can really hit that ball on the line into the gaps into left center field and into right center field. I think they're going to have to crowd him with those pitches. Keep it on the inside part of the plate.
Burley is pretty sharp early on. Coming into this inning, he needed only 14 pitches to retire 6 straight to start the game.
He threw up 4 zeros after he gave up that first inning run in his last start. Shut out the Yankees over those last 4 innings.
There's a high fly ball. Colabello focused on it in the twilight here. It's difficult to pick that ball up, but he makes the catch. Mark Burley this season is 4-2. You look at his career numbers in ERA compared to this year. He's gotten off to a rough start. Same for his whip, but he has translated into 4 wins. Not a bad win. 4 of 6 decisions for Burley.
Yeah, they're scoring him runs, and he is pitching to the scoreboard, if you ask me. If he gets 11 runs, he'll throw the ball over, make them hit their way on. Different from last year to this year, the earned run average is a little bit higher. Last year at this time, his ERA was at 2.5.
Here's Caleb Joseph. Joseph was talking to me about Burley, facing Burley tonight. He says, you know he's going to throw you that cutter up and away, and I know I'm going to get it, and I always swing right underneath it. Just that last pitch was exactly the pitch he was talking about.
So don't swing.
But it looks so inviting.
It looks so good, doesn't it? I mean, there's always pitchers like that. You know what they're going to do to you. You know that they're going to throw a certain pitch in a certain situation in a certain place, and you tell yourself to lay off, but it just looks too inviting.
Mark Burley began his career in the big leagues in 2000. He won his first major league start on July 19th against the Minnesota Twins in Minneapolis. Give you an idea how long ago that was. Jerry Manning was the manager of the White Sox, and Tom Kelly was the manager of the Twins. This is popped into the seats. David Ortiz was a Twin at that time. He was 24 years old, and he had 3 hits against Burley in that game. Burley came out of the game, and Ortiz finished off 4 for 4 in that ballgame. But Mark picked up his first career win in his first big league start.
And he's never missed a start since then. That's
remarkable.
That's the amazing thing.
And he gets Joseph looking right there. First strikeout of the night for Mark Burley. Strikes out the number 9 hitter, Caleb Joseph.
That was the cutter. It wasn't high, but it was placed nicely. His stuff looks a little crisper tonight, Mark Burley's. I asked John Gibbons today, I said, what's the pitch that's got to be important tonight for Burley to have success? And he said that cut fastball. And that was a good one.
First pitch changeup to Manny Machado. Fair ball. Donaldson doesn't believe it. It's down the left field line. Hardy will stop at third. Machado ends up at second. The 6th double of the season for Manny Machado. Just over the bag at third. This will give you a good perspective of that call down at third.
Got one of the best camera angles here, and that one, it's just got to go over any part of the bag. That one looked like it was foul. Josh Donaldson arguing. Could not believe that ball was called fair by Dan Bellino.
So Machado's at second, Hardy's at third for Jimmy Paredes, a switch hitter batting right-handed. Paredes grounded out to second, his first time up. Hit a little chopper to Tollison and made a good play. He freewheels it. Burley knows he might not even have to throw him a strike in his at bat.
Yeah, he is a free swinger. He likes the fastball. He got jammed up on that cutter his first time up, the first pitch that he saw, and grounded out weakly. So Burley throws the changeup off the plate.
Paredes is a very good breaking ball hitter. So if I were Burley, I would make sure you throw him a breaking ball, throw it out of the strike zone. See if he'll chase, because he'll do that. Base hit. Hardy's in to score. Machado will score right behind him. Jimmy Paredes has extended his hit streak to 11 straight with a 2-run, 2-out single.
And in that hit streak, he's hitting .341. You said he was a very good breaking ball hitter, and he is. He keeps his hands back very nicely, and that looked like an off-speed pitch out over the plate by Burley. Off-speed change up. The other one floated out of the zone. This time it stayed right there, and you see Paredes wait back just a little bit longer, shoot it right back through the middle for 2 runs.
Paredes puts the Orioles on the board. There are the numbers for his 11-game hit streak. He's hitting .349. Adam Jones takes the first pitch strike. Orioles scored 2 runs. Scored 3 runs in the first inning in last night's game. Here they score first. That's way foul on the left side.
Strike 2.
Well, there's where Jones really buckles down. He has hit .321 with 2 strikes this season. To give you an idea how exceptional that is, the major league average is .175 with 2 strikes.
That's incredible. And there was a time where you can get him out by throwing sliders off the plate, but he has really become a disciplined hitter.
Took a shot inside. 1-2 to Adam Jones. Hits it hard, but well foul once again. We told you his numbers against the Blue Jays this season are impressive. 12 for 26. Got to come up with a new game plan. Paredes dives back in. Burley's got that terrific pickoff move.
Just in case they were trying to start that runner with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Adam Jones.
He can give him the good move now. Just off the plate.
See, there's the patience right there. Adam Jones right there. He's got a game plan. He knows what Mark Burley wants to do to him. He was a little bit more of a free swinger when he first came up in the big leagues. Now he's not. Very patient.
Tried to check and did. Burley getting the breaking ball, that cutter off the plate inside. It's a full count. Paredes at first will be off on the pitch. Delman Young awaits on deck. Strike 3 call. Jones called out. Burley gets 2 strikeouts, both looking here in the 3rd inning, but Baltimore has broken out on top. 2-0. Jose Bautista will lead things off. Field was April 21st against this Oriole ball club, and this is the throw that created problems for Bautista in his throwing shoulder.
And you can see the reaction first from Delman Young throwing, hey, what are you doing, trying to throw me out? Jose says, I'm just a competitive person. That was right after he hit the home run and all the shenanigans that we saw in the opening. But Bautista, excuse me, Buck, I was watching him on that replay, and he really started shaking his arm. He knew that he had done something to his shoulder after that throw.
The shoulder is still bothering him to the point where he's not able to attempt to throw yet. Breaking ball pulled foul past the third base coach. Well, Bautista's a big bat. You need him in the lineup, and obviously, if he can swing the bat, he's always a threat. He has hit well against the Orioles this season, including 2 home runs.
John Gibbons calls him the centerpiece of our lineup right there. And not having Bautista at full strength, he thinks, is still better than someone who is 100% healthy, just because of the danger factor.
No question about it. You pitch differently to the Blue Jays lineup with Jose Bautista in it, as opposed to when he's on the bench, and he's always a threat to hit it out of the ballpark.
There are the high fastballs. That's 3 in a row right there from Chris Tillman. Just 91 miles an hour, and Jose just hasn't been able to get the ball out in front. Hit the ball out in front of him.
Another breaking ball pulled foul. You can see his timing is just off. That fastball that he's fouled off is 91 miles an hour. And it's a 2-strike count, so he is just trying to be short and quick to the baseball. Close pitch, and it is a ball, 1-2 now. Curveball missed downstairs.
I think for Chris Tillman, the key for him is get the leadoff hitter in an inning. That ball's just off the plate, leading off an inning. Batters are hitting .321 against him, and when he's faced the Blue Jays this year, before tonight, he's pitched 7 innings against them. He's had all kind of problems, but in 5 of those innings, the leadoff batter got on, either through a walk or a base hit.
High fly ball deep to left center field. Jones and Snyder converging. It's Jones right in front of the fence, makes the catch. Bautista gave it a ride. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. And wouldn't you know it, it's the 2 guys at the top of the order, Kobe Ellsbury and Brett Gardner. They are 4 for 4 to start the ball game. Like terrific table setters.
It's like having 2 leadoff hitters. Let's take a look at the side swing from Jose Bautista. We've talked about that shoulder. Does he get through? Does he extend through? And you can see he cuts his swing off. He just cannot get to that top pitch and finish his swing.
Boy, that was a great depiction of that shoulder, how he didn't extend that right shoulder on that last swing, or else that ball was way back in left center.
Yeah, there were 4 or 5 pitches in that at bat where Bautista, we've seen it in the past, hit the ball out of the ballpark, but he kept fouling off those 91-mile-an-hour fastballs, and he just could not get through with that right side. Still hit it all the way to the wall in left center field.
Edwin Encarnacion with a 3-1 count. Edwin grounded out to third base his first time up. Full count. Bautista certainly not 100%, but like John Gibbons told Pat, his presence certainly has an impact on the way a pitcher will attack the Blue Jays. He's always a threat.
He would rather have him in there at less than 100%.
Encarnacion lost the grip on that bottom hand. This is the first warm, muggy night that the Blue Jays have experienced. It's a perfect night for baseball. Absolutely spectacular. Again, he almost lost the grip on that bat. Players will use a combination of rosin. They use a stick, pine tar to put on the bat just to get a good grip.
Well, you can finally sweat. It's hot enough that you start sweating. The batting gloves will get a little moist, damp. And Edwin is fighting it right now, isn't he?
There you see all the different tools they use to prepare to go to the plate. The weighted bat, the sleeve that goes over the bat, pine tar, rosin, stick 'em, whatever it takes. Everybody has a preference. Edwin, he didn't want to leave the batter's box. He was feeling pretty good, but it's ball 4. First walk issued by Tillman. One out. Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Jimmy Paredes, the DH, who has really had an impact offensively since he's come off the disabled list, has driven in both runs. Russell Martin flied out to right. The first pitch strike. You mentioned the problems Tillman has had. First pitch strikes, first outs of innings. They have plagued him most of the season.
Yeah, he's really battled it in his starts. 2 2/3 against the Blue Jays, 7 earned runs. He gave up 10 hits and 5 2/3 against the Yankees in his last start.
Right at the top of the zone. 0-2.
Also, the base on balls have really plagued Tillman. He's really a control type of pitcher. He doesn't throw the ball by you. He doesn't really strike out a lot of batter. But this year, coming into this game, he's had the 4th most walks in the American League. And that's something that you just can't do.
He now has 19 walks and 23 strikeouts. There's a base hit on low 2 pitch. Martin takes it the other way. Delman Young's got a terrific arm from right field. When he played right field every day for Tampa Bay in 2007, he had 16 assists. He has 67 outfield assists for his career, including 4 this season.
Russell Martin gets on top of that high fastball. They missed it the first time through the lineup. Blue Jays just could not get on top of the high fastball. That time he does and shoots it to right field.
This is Chris Colabello. He singled up the middle. J.J. Hardy made a play on it, but had no throw to first. Colabello goes after that breaking ball. What do you see in Colabello's approach that you like watching him as a hitter?
For me, balance. He is balanced at the plate, and he's got a quick bat. He can wait a long time, and I guess the one thing I really like is his ability to load up. You see that movement in the bat while the pitch is on its way going back. He goes back before he goes forward.
He played in a small college in Massachusetts, didn't get drafted. Signed with the Tigers, but was let go after just a couple of weeks. Then he signed to play independent baseball in the Can-Am League. He played 7 years of independent baseball before he got his first chance with the Twins.
Perseverance, and he had a great month last year in April before he got injured.
He drove in 29 runs in the month of April. He was leading the American League. That broke Kirby Puckett's franchise record for RBIs in April. And then he was dealing with a bad thumb.
Bad thumb, nerve damage in the thumb. He said it didn't get better until November. Almost 3 months after the season last season.
1-2. Breaking ball, base hit. Encarnacion got a good read. He's going to challenge Snyder. They cut the ball off, and they've got Martin hung up between Second and third. He's going to try to stay in the rundown, and he does long enough to get Colabello to second. The Blue Jays are on the board. Chris Colabello with his 5th RBI. His second hit of the night.
And he just keeps on hitting. Tillman has not been able to finish off batters. He got 2 strikes on Martin and gave up a base hit. And now 2 strikes on Colabello and hangs a curveball. And Chris hits it into left field, and they challenge the arm of Travis Snyder. You can see that throw, not a very good throw. Short hops the cutoff man, and now here's the rundown. And Martin does a good job. Stays in that rundown long enough to get Colabello into scoring position.
And Colabello does a good job. He kept his eye on the play and is able to get to second base for Kevin Pillar. The 2-1 Orioles lead it. Pillar fouls it into the catcher's mitt. 0-2. Russell Martin had an 0-2 single to right. Pillar has put up decent numbers with runners in scoring position.
He's got a very good batting average when he is behind in the count. Almost 300 when he's behind in the count. So he battles.
Chased one up and away. Tillman strikes him out, but the Blue Jays are on the board. Chris Colabello, a perfect start to his night. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI, but the Orioles still have a 1-run lead.
Daily coverage, headlines, and analysis. Visit sportsnet.ca/Blue Jays. And you can see Shai Davidi with a great column today regarding the Blue Jays bullpen and what an improvement they have had over the last few weeks, Buck.
Well, they sure have, Barry, and Shai Davidi is here every day working hard on his stories, and the bullpen has been a very good story lately. This is Delman Young. He hooks it into the seats foul. 2-1 ball game. Orioles scored 2 in the bottom of the third. Blue Jays scored a run in the top of the fourth. Barely is a lot sharper tonight than we've seen him this season, and he may have given up 2 runs, but his pitches are crisp. He's making good quality pitches. There's a little looper, and Tollison's going to catch it behind second. 1 down. So Chris Davis will come to the plate, and when you look at the most home runs since 2012, it's an impressive list of sluggers, and Chris Davis leads the way.
And we get to see 2 of them in this series. Miguel Cabrera with 119, and then right behind him, Edwin Encarnacion. You want home runs, you've come to the right place right here. Camden Yards in this series with these 2 ball clubs.
The Orioles led the American League in home runs last year with 211.
and they're 3-4 this year. What's impressive about the Orioles so far this season, they've hit 41 home runs, which is third in the American League. The Blue Jays have hit 37, but the Orioles have played 3 fewer games.
One and two. Burley is ahead of Davis. And he strikes him out. Kept that ball on the inner half. Davis strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts for Burley so far.
His cutter has got some more movement. It seems a little bit harder, and it's a little bit late break. Look at the spin on that cutter, and it's a late breaking cutter. And that ball's right down the middle, and Chris Davis can't hit it.
2 down. Another foul into the seats. You better have a glove down there in that left field foul line. Steve Pearce falls behind. There's a fly ball to left. Mark Burley puts up a 0 after his club scored. Top half of the inning, we move to the 5th. It's 2-1 Orioles. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong.
Presented by the 2015 Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Chris Colabello is 2 for 2 with an RBI, and it looks like he's having an intense conversation with Jose Bautista, maybe about a pitch or something. Bautista is very good at breaking down opposing pitchers and all of that. But whatever it is, she appears to be intense, maybe about Chris Tillman. Brian Goins had a bunt base hit to start the 3rd inning. Goins been hitting in tough luck. He's hit some balls hard.
Yeah, he deserved that bunt base hit.
Ground ball up the middle. That's going to sneak through. Goins is 2 for 2.
I thought it was the play of the game in last night's ball game when he sent a ball to right center field with a couple of runners on. Delman Young hauled it in. That could have changed the whole outcome of the ball game last night.
That was in the 7th inning. And the Blue Jays had scored a run and they had a couple aboard. And if that ball gets over Delman Young's head, totally different outcome more than likely. But Delman ran it down, made a good play. Well, in the 3rd inning after Goins reached, the Blue Jays played hit and run on the first pitch. Let's see what they do here. Tillman's thinking the same way.
Well, we might be able to get a sneak peek to see if the Orioles are thinking the same thing. Caleb Joseph looking hard into that dugout. Throw over.
Well, you see catchers now in baseball, they all look into the bench coach, and sometimes the manager, we'll see that with Socha, the Angels manager. Mike will call all the running game defense. The bench coaches generally call the defense for the catchers. I think that's one thing that's really been lost is a feel for the game. Catchers have a lot of things done for them, so they don't have to pay attention to leads and little tendencies at first base.
Especially in the lower levels in youth baseball. It's always better to let the catcher try to learn the game.
Yeah, a lot of times catchers won't have any idea why they're calling a pitch because they've never been able to call pitches. Coaches pass it on to them.
I see that in college baseball a lot, that the coaches are calling games and then the catchers get drafted coming to pro ball. They have no idea how to call a game.
Keep looking over in that dugout for their coach. He's gone. He's back in college.
Yeah. You're on your own, son. You better learn.
And it is a tough skill to learn. Calling a game, identifying your strengths of your pitcher and all of that. 0-2. Breaking ball missed.
Yeah, he could go to the breaking ball now that he was ahead 0-2. Figuring that Ryan Goins was not going to take off over first base. Leadoff batter on once again here against Chris Tillman.
Tried to check his swing and went around according to first base umpire Tom Haugen. He's the crew chief. One down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful night in Baltimore. Blue Jays trail by a run back to the top of the order. Ezequiel Carrera 0 for 2. He shows bunt and gets hit by the pitch. He didn't offer at the pitch, so he will take first base. Goins will go to second. Well, that's a big break for the Blue Jays as Carrera was attempting to bunt for a base hit.
That one wasn't even close. I don't know if he was trying to run that in once he saw him square around. Look at this one. All the way over into the batter's box and hits him right above the knee.
Got him on both legs. Hit him on the top of the right knee and then might have hit him on the left knee. Josh Donaldson with 2 aboard. Hacking at that first pitch. Donaldson grounded out in the 3rd inning to end that inning. Blue Jays have out-hit the Orioles 5-3.
I think Chris Tillman is getting away with a few pitches so far in this ball game. In the 5th, he has thrown some pitches right there, and the Blue Jays have missed them.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays last night. The first 5 spots in the batting order struck out 13 times. Tonight, Tillman has 2 strikeouts. Pilar and Tolleson down in the bottom of the order. Fly ball left field. Snyder can't see it. Jones, the center fielder, coming over. Now he makes the catch. Snyder was about 30 feet from where Jones made the catch. Never saw the baseball off the bat.
Yeah, and it looked like Adam Jones in center field had given up on that, thinking that the ball was going to be caught by Travis Snyder. As an outfielder, the first thing you do, you throw your arms up and say, I don't see it. And then Adam Jones almost overran it.
Tough time of the night for outfielders on those high fly balls. Jose Bautista hearing a few boos as he steps in for the 3rd time against Tillman. Might have been off the plate inside, but Tillman gets the call. Bautista's last home run came April 28th in Fenway against Craig Breslow, the left-hander.
That's 12 straight games that Jose has not homered in.
Of course, he didn't start in last night's game. He had a pinch hit at bat in the ninth. But we're going to have to watch the extension on that swing, as we picked up on that early in the ball game. That right shoulder. That's a tough one, up and away. A couple of close calls go against Jose in this at bat.
And it is a strike according to pitch tracks. You can see it that ball made it in there. And it's also a tough pitch for a guy who's got a shoulder problem to get on top of that ball.
1-2. 2 outs.
When you've got a bad shoulder, to try and keep the arm up there, and Bautista said it's tough to lift my arm up.
Even to brush his hair.
Even to brush his hair. So trying to swing a bat in the top part of the strike zone is going to be tough. I think it'd be easier if a low ball if he gets one down in the strike zone.
There's one down in the zone. Left field. Snyder back at the track, at the wall, jumps and makes the catch. Second time tonight, Bautista has hit one to the wall in left field. Tillman maintains that 1-run lead.
A 9-step program. There's also work on how the balls are stored and the temperature that they're stored in. What I have here is a baseball that is used for batting practice. It is completely white, and you will not see these in a game. What happens is they get sent to get rubbed down in mud, but unlike the past, they are now supervised when the balls get rubbed down. They are supervised when they get to the umpire for the game. C.J. Wilson was quoted as saying, "There's not much you can do to a baseball. It's not like you can change their consistency." Well, Buck, you've been in this game a long time, and I know that you have another thought on what can actually be done with a baseball to change its dimensions.
Yeah, Barry, and there have been some moves, and especially when you think about Colorado with all that light air, they built a humidor in Colorado to store the baseballs so they wouldn't dry out. And the high altitude of Colorado, the dry air, baseballs have a tendency to dry out, and they were finding out that the balls were flying out of the ballpark. And not only the light air, but the fact that they weren't stored properly, so they have changed that. In fact, Clint Ertl used to keep his cigars in that humidor too.
Well, that's everything before the game starts. Then when the game starts, there's a few things that players over the years have done to alter the facing of a baseball.
Yeah, it can have an impact. There's no question about that. And the umpires, they have a special can of Delaware mud that has been marketed for years. J.J. Hardy pulls it foul. And they will rough up the baseballs, and every umpire does it differently, of course. And then they'll take the sheen off the cover so the pitchers have a better grip. This is a fly ball into center field. And Colabello makes the catch as Pilar ran right behind him. There's one down. But the baseballs can have an impact. If a pitcher doctors up the baseball, you remember Joe Nico got thrown out of the game because he had a nail file in his pocket. There have been pine tar incidents, tacks. But what can a pitcher do to alter a baseball.
Well, I've played with guys where they put a little piece of sandpaper right here. They glue it right in on the fingers, so when they look like they're rubbing up the baseball, they're actually scratching the baseball. That one side, you've played with a ball when you were a kid, the one side with all the holes in it, and the ball moves all over the place. It's the same thing. The aerodynamics, you change the facing of the baseball on one side, and you throw it with that pitch, and it'll move.
Travis Snyder taps out in front of home plate. 2 quick outs for Burley here in the 5th. So, yeah, baseball is just being proactive and making sure that there's no question about the integrity of those baseballs used in the games. But I don't think we've heard the last of Deflategate. I think the Patriots are going to contend that the punishment is not in line with the crime.
Well, they're a little bit lighter in the wallet.
A little bit, I would say. $1 billion fine. Number 9 hitter is Caleb Joseph. Burley has retired 6 straight. Isn't this game interesting? Mark Burley won his first 3 games and got double-digit run support in all 3 of those games. And now he's got his best stuff of the season, and he trails 2-1.
And we're glad that he does have his good stuff because he's keeping it close right now, giving the Blue Jays offense a chance to catch up on Chris Tillman.
It's a fly ball to left field. Goins out, Carrera in. Carrera calls Goins off, makes the catch. Another quick inning for Mark Burley. He's retired 7 straight. We'll go to the 6th. The Blue Jays are down by a run. Encarnacion, Martin, and Colabello to face Tillman when we come back.
Using hashtag TD Tuesday and tag at Blue Jays for a chance to win one of 5 trips to Toronto. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. Great opportunity to come see Blue Jays at Rogers Center. We'll make sure you check it out. Good ball game going on here. 2-1. The Orioles lead it. They scored 2 in the 3rd. Blue Jays scored their run top of the 4th. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Blue Jays here in the 6th. Encarnacion, Martin, and then Chris Colabello. Edwin scored the Blue Jays run. He walked with 1 out in the 4th and scored on Colabello's RBI single. Fly ball to right. Delman Young backing up. This ball is hit hard and gone. Edwin Encarnacion, his 6th home run of the season, has tied it up at 2-2.
Well, the month of May for Edwin Encarnacion. He's doing it again. The weather heats up, and then when Encarnacion's bat starts to heat up also.
Well, you mentioned it. He was injured in spring training, and his at-bats were limited. It took him a while to get it going, but boy, that's a good sign. He drives that ball out the yard to the opposite field.
That's the impressive part about the whole thing, is his ability to hit the ball to right field and hit it out of here. He doesn't hit that many to right field. His home runs are usually shots to left field.
Russell Martin goes after the first pitch, pops out, foul.
It's a breaking ball, and he stays back. And look how he drives that ball out of the ballpark to right field.
Ball and a strike to the Blue Jays catcher. What's the extension of that right shoulder for Encarnacion? We referenced Bautista cutting off his swing. Nothing wrong with Edwin, of course, and he really drilled that ball in the opposite field. Look out, Russell. Martin gets hit by a pitch. Can go to first. Still nobody out. That's going to bring Chris Colabello to the plate. Colabello's already 2 for 2.
Right man at the right time right here. Fastball gets away from Tillman and runs right in on Russell Martin.
Looked like it hit him above that elbow pad on the back of his tricep. Chris Colabello 2 for 2. He drove in the only Blue Jays run with a single in the fourth. 609. That's right. That's his batting average.
Sounds like an area code.
It's my area code. New Jersey. Colabello with 2 hits is now 14 for 23. I don't care what league you're playing in. That's impressive.
Yeah. Pretty good. He's hitting the ball to right field. We've seen him get an infield hit up the middle. We've seen him pull the ball. His home run went to right field.
Hit that home run off Wade Miley on a 3-1 pitch at Rogers Center. Hit it to the opposite bullpen in right center. Well, he just looks like a hitter when he stands in. He has a good balanced approach. He is ready for every pitch, and certainly given his background and how he cherishes every at bat, he is in good shape right now.
Yeah, and look at the balance, how spread out he is in the batter's box. That gives you balance as a hitter, and that's where it all starts.
He waited back on that breaking ball, but it broke down and away. 1-2. Tillman's ahead of Colabello. Two-2 ball game. Encarnacion's home run has tied it up here in the 6th. Colabello strikes out. Everything was away in that at bat. 1 down. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Noah Syndergaard, the former Blue Jay farmhand who went to the Mets in the R.A. Dickey trade, making his major league debut tonight. Got off to a great start in AAA Las Vegas.
Thor, that's what they call him, right? It's his nickname, Thor. He looks like Thor.
6'6" right-hander. Pitching against the Cubs and Jake Arrieta at Wrigley Field. Kevin Pillar for 2 so far tonight. Change up.
Good change up. Down. Change up. He hasn't had a lot of success with that change up this year. And it's a big pitch for him.
Ground ball hit hard. Machado goes to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. Manny Machado, the Gold Glove third baseman, starts the double play. They close out the inning, but Edwin Encarnacion leading off the inning. Hits a curveball to the opposite field. Home run number 6. It's a 2-2 game.
of baseball experts takes you beyond the game. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram using the hashtag BlueJays.
Thank you very much, Barry. And you can see lots of Blue Jay fans in attendance here at Oriole Park in Camden Yards. The Orioles welcome back their fans. It was the first time they have played with fans in the ballpark since April 29th. They had 20,000 on hand last night. Mark Burley, brand new ball game. It's 2-2 now. Burley set to face the top of the order. Manny Machado, Jimmy Paredes, and Adam Jones. There's a curveball in there for a strike.
That's a good pitch. A little change of pace against Machado. It looked like he was ready to jump out there and hit the fastball.
Mark Burley, as we have told you many times, doesn't shake off his catcher. He just feels that he can execute whatever the catcher wants. If he makes a good pitch with it, it's going to be sufficient enough to retire the hitter. There's a line drive down the left field line. Carrera over to play it, and it gets past him. Machado will stop at second with a leadoff double here in the sixth.
Save during the Lawn and Garden Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Statue of number 22 outside the ballpark. That's the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer, who had that classic high leg kick delivery. Manny Machado's on fire. He's got a couple of doubles tonight. He's 2 for 3. Jimmy Paredes, the switch hitter. He has the 2 RBIs for the Orioles. Came back in the third inning. A 2-run single to left.
Yeah, he too is another very hot hitter. Trying to hit the ball to the right side to advance that runner.
In this situation, if I'm Paredes, I don't even think about that. The way he's swinging the bat, he's got an 11-game hit streak. I'm just going to go ahead and hit for myself. You got insurance behind you in Adam Jones. I mean, it's not every single at bat you want the guy to get the runner over.
So try and drive him in. I think Burley will see that and try and throw something off speed to get him out front.
He did that. And Paredes not very patient at all. He swings at a lot of borderline pitches. And you got to make sure that you get him to chase here. Burley threw him a changeup in the third that he singled to left on. He doesn't cut down his swing very much with 2 strikes.
That's not a 2-strike approach.
This might be a good time to bounce a curveball. He's in a swing mode right now. He's hacking. Thinking about driving in that run. You probably get him to chase a curveball if you're bouncing in the dirt. Change up. He wouldn't chase. Burley threw a first pitch curveball to Manny Machado for a strike this inning. Liam Hendricks starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Paredes strikes out. Burley gets him with a pitch down and in. That's 4 strikeouts for Burley so far.
And that worked out for the Blue Jays. Just kept jamming him. Throwing that ball in the under half where he cannot get that barrel out. That one right underneath the back. That's that cutter that has got that late movement tonight.
They're going to put Jones on. This is an interesting move. And I'll tell you why it's interesting. That man right there, Delman Young. Delman Young has hit well against Burley throughout his career. But John Gibbons says, you know what? I got to try to get the double play. And why force the issue with Jones when they got a base open?
You've got a base open. Adam Jones is hot. And he's a great hitter. So you take your chances.
Delman Young is 22 for 58 against Burley. They're going to see if Liam Hendricks is ready. It looks like they're taking their time now as Russell Martin takes a slow walk back behind the plate. Coming into this game, the Orioles' meat of the order has put up impressive numbers against Mark Burley, and there's Delmon Young with 56 at bats, hitting nearly 400.
And we talked about that in the opening. To win this game, he's going to have to control the middle of this lineup because of those great numbers.
And so far, he has. Jones, Young, Davis 0 for 6. First and second, 1 out. Strike 2. Burley, he knows the numbers that Delmon Young has put up, but he never backs off from those. He's still trying to make a good pitch and get a ground ball. He does. Tollison at second. To Goins at first. Back to first and double play. Ryan Goins made a heck of a turn. Adam Jones was all over him at second base. Tollison starts it, flips to Goin coming across from short. Look at Jones, the hard slide right into the shortstop, and he's got enough arm to finish the inning with the double play.
May 18th through the 21st. Then it's the return of Jay Happ and the Seattle Mariners, May 22nd to 24th. And another former Blue Jay comes back as Melky Cabrera, and the Chicago White Sox visit May 25th to the 27th. You can get your tickets at bluejays.com. Bucks, these former Blue Jays are actually having pretty decent seasons so far.
They are having decent seasons, but the good news for the Blue Jays is all three of those teams are under 500. So a chance in the month of May to make some hay against those teams outside the AL East, and it'll be a good breather for the Blue Jays to get away from the East for a while.
Well, they get to see a lot of star players that are coming to Rogers Center.
Mike Trout and the Angels. White Sox. Goins slices this one to left. That's going to drop for another hit. Ryan Goins, a 3 for 3 night. He's been the leadoff man each of his 3 at bats, and he's reached 3 times against Tillman. A bunt single and then 2 singles, and Goins is 3 for 3.
The second one was right underneath the glove of Tillman, and this time he's going to drop it right in front of Travis Snyder in left field. The magic wand is working today. He got robbed of a couple of hits in last night's game, so he's due a couple of those base hits.
Interesting development here, as you're going to see Justin Smoke come off the bench and hit for Steve Tollison. Tollison started at second base, but now in this tie game in the 7th, Justin Smoke will come to the plate. Smoke had 3 at bats in last night's game. He was lifted for the pinch hitter in the 9th. So he's had a few swings lately. Devin Travis loosening up. He will run should Smoke get aboard, and then he'll go back to play second base. He's just getting the night off. Not any longer. Smoke 2 for 10 against Tillman. He's faced him a lot. Hits it on the ground. Davis, the first baseman, goes to Hardy, back to first, and off the glove into the dugout. It went off the glove of Tillman. Looked like they had a shot at the double play. Tillman covering the bag at first. Hardy's throw went off the glove, and Smoke will end up at second on the air.
The throw beat him. This is a good play by Davis. Very nimble at first base. Spins and fires. He's too far from the base, so the pitcher's got to get over there. Machado's throw just off the glove of Tillman. You can see it would have beaten the runner at first base. So that will allow the pinch runner to go into scoring position.
Devin Travis has come into the game, taking over for Smoke at second. It's a fielder's choice. The air on the throw to Machado. He picks up the air. Yeah. This is the leadoff man, Ezequiel Carrera. He got hit by a pitch in the fifth.
Machado had time to make that play. Just ball ran on him and it was off the glove. Blue Jays will certainly take it now they've got a runner in scoring position.
Ball and a strike to Carrera. Foul back. Travis at second base has to really get a good jump. The Orioles outfield has 10 outfield assists. They all throw well.
Snyder's got 1, Jones 3, and you mentioned Delman Young's 4 in right field, but he is deep, Delman Young in right field. Look how deep he is, taking away the gap in right center field.
Upstairs, he appealed down to third, and Molina said no swing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tonneson is on deck. Mark Burley has pitched very well through 6 innings. Now Roberto Osuna cranking it up. It was Hendricks in the last half inning throwing. Fouled into the catcher's glove. Foul tip. Looked like Joseph thought that was the third out, but he recognized it, and that'll bring Donaldson to the plate.
It was a third strike. 4-seamer. Just foul tipped, and Joseph is able to hold on to it. That is 4 strikeouts tonight for Chris Tillman.
Josh Donaldson has gone 0 for 3 so far. Tillman very aware of this first pitch hitter. Throws it down and away. Blue Jays just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight.
You know, and Devin Travis with 2 outs now at second base, he can get a huge secondary lead. You mentioned the great arms that the Orioles have in the outfield, but the infielders and the middle infielders, they have to play deep. You can see J.J. Hardy out on the grass. They have to play deep to try and knock the ball down, so there's nobody jockeying for position at second base. And Travis is doing a good job of getting a big secondary lead.
Yeah, you bounce off, and then when that pitch is delivered, you get a few more steps toward third. 3-0 count. Donaldson swinging, bounces it up the middle. Travis is coming around third. He's going to score. Donaldson delivers on a 3-0 bouncing ball up the middle to drive home the go-ahead run. for Donaldson. That is his 22nd RBI, and it gives the Blue Jays the lead.
He is a run producer. He takes what the pitcher gives him. 3-0. You knew he was going to swing away. You're not going to let a good fat fastball go right by him. Josh is all over this one, and he bounces it through that infield. And that allows Travis to score without a throw. Blue Jays fighting back, and they've taken the lead.
And Burley is the pitcher of record. Osuna is really focused on getting loose now. We're in the 7th. Bautista is 0 for 4. 0 for 3, excuse me. He has popped out and flied out deep to center and left.
Yes, he just missed those 2 balls. The last time, Travis Snyder did a good job getting back to the wall and robbing him of an extra base hit.
Mark Burley, a terrific effort here tonight. He has pitched out of a couple of tough situations and has retired some hitters that have hit him hard in the past. Jones, Young, and Davis hitless tonight.
You know, and he has pitched a heck of a game and deserves to keep going.
His pitch count is in good shape. Burley's only thrown 78 pitches. And it really hasn't been a stressful outing for him. He has really pitched well. You can see he's had a great percentage of strikes. Bounced in the dirt, blocked by Joseph. So you look to the bottom of the 7th. It's Davis, Pearson, Hardy. Davis so far tonight 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pierce 0 for 2. Hardy has a single in 2 at-bats. All against Burley, of course. Bautista drives this one deep to left. This ball is going to bounce on the wall and go over the wall. It hit on the warning track and bounced into the bullpen, and that's going to be a ground rule double and send Josh Donaldson back to third.
Blue Jays catch a bad break right there. Donaldson was going to score, but because it's a ground rule double, he's got to go back to third base, and that brings Buck Showalter to the mound. Bautista all over this pitch. It's a fastball right down Broadway, and he gets through that one. But because it hits off the warning track and out of play, Donaldson goes back, and Tillman's night is finished.
Big Tommy Hunter is into the ball game. The Blue Jays knocked Chris Tillman out of the game for the 3rd time this season. new pitcher is the hard-throwing right-hander Tommy Hunter. He's on in relief of Chris Tillman. Hunter making his 13th appearance of the season.
And he does throw hard. You can see he's averaging 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. Hard cutting action fastball and a good sharp breaking curveball. He gets Edwin Encarnacion, his first batter.
Edwin has hit well against Tommy Hunter, over 400 with a couple of home runs. Edwin had the home run in the 6th against Tillman. That ball gets away, and that's going to get the Blue Jays a run. Donaldson comes in to score. And it's a 4-2 Blue Jay lead. That ball got away from Caleb Joseph. Donaldson reacted quickly and scores from third.
That is the definition right there of the catcher being crossed up by the pitcher. You got a runner at second base. They go through a series of signs. He's looking for an off-speed pitch, and he throws that blazer about 95 miles an hour right off his wrist.
Hit him right on the inside of that left wrist. Bautista now at third. 2-0 to Encarnacion.
98 with some movement from Hunter. He's got a good arm.
Tommy Hunter came over to the Orioles as a starter, but they put him into the bullpen, and he has flourished. Encarnacion over his last 14 games is hot. Right on time, in tune with what he did last May.
Yeah, the calendar flips over to May, and Edwin starts to get hot. He's really loading up. I love his tempo at the plate right now. As the pitcher starts to get ready, how he rocks back.
Drives this one to right and deep. Up, and gone. Encarnacion, a 2-homer night, both going to the opposite field. He rocked into that one.
When he starts to rock like that, rock backwards, he gets that momentum going forward. That bat head really comes through the strike zone with authority. Boy, he's got some power.
Boy, when he gets hot, he is blazing. That's 7 home runs now. Burley with a comfortable lead at 6-2. Encarnacion with 3 RBIs.
Everyone watching rock back, get it going, and then that bat comes through. I don't care if that ball's away. That's where they've been pitching him all year long. He can go out of the ballpark to right field. Fastball down and away, right on the outside corner. That's where they've been pitching him all year long.
He has moved up on the plate a bit, and he hit a good pitch. Oftentimes you talk about mistakes, and Encarnacion said, you know what, I extended through that and drove it out to right. One to right center and one down the right field line. Martin takes strike 2. It's 1-2 to the Blue Jays catcher. So the Jays now with 6 runs on 10 hits and 2 homers. Martin hits one over the first baseman into right. He's thinking about 2, but Pierce gets on it quickly. 2-out single for Martin. Let's check in with Jamie. The Blue Jays will play the Astros a 4-game series starting Thursday night, and the Astros are likely to get George Springer back from rehab. He was dealing with a concussion, and Springer, good-looking young outfielder, is back. Chris Heston is on the mound in that game for the Giants against Colin McHugh. Also, Martin with a 2-hit night. He's 2 for 3. Also was hit by a pitch. Edwin Encarnacion has hit the last 3 Blue Jays home runs. He had a home run Saturday against the Red Sox, a 3-run home run against Joe Kelly. Chris Colabello pulls it on the ground. J.J. Hardy will go to second. That'll end the inning with the Blue Jays put up a 4 spot in the 7th. And when Encarnacion's having a big night, pair of home runs. He's driven in 3 and scored 3. The Blue Jays lead at 6-2. Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Well, we are going to give it the drives of the game. First, Edwin Encarnacion on this breaking ball from Chris Tillman in the 6th inning. He leads it off with a home run to right field. Very rarely do you see him hit a home run to right field, but tonight he's going to hit 2. His fastball down the right field line. He came into this game. This is his 99th game against the Baltimore Orioles. He now has 28 career home runs against the Orioles. Edwin Encarnacion with the drives of the game.
It's his 18th career multi-home run game, 2nd this season, and he has given the Blue Jays a nice cushion. New pitcher into the ball game is the youngster Roberto Osuna.
13 games. This is his 14th now. Osuna without a record, with a very good earned run average.
Devin Travis came into the game as a pinch runner. He takes over defensively at second base. Steve Thomason got the start. This is popped out of play. That is the book on Chris Davis right there. From hard in, above the belt. He's got an uppercut swing. He is a prototypical home run hitter.
Yeah, you don't want him to extend those arms. And Osuna's got enough fastball to get it up and in against Chris Davis.
They were going down and away, and he pulled it all the way across the plate in the dirt. So you say, okay, well, Davis, his weakness is up and in. Well, why were they trying to throw him down and away? Because it's a 6-2 game. You don't have to go to the weakness on every pitch. In fact, you can pitch to a strength, especially when you got a cushion like this, and maybe put a little doubt in the hitter's mind. Hey, yeah. They think they can get me out there.
And then maybe wait when there are runners on in a tight ball game.
Pulled on the ground. Travis from the outfield will throw to first. Davis is retired. Well, Mark Buehrle, 6 strong innings, and to me this was his best outing of the season. He held the Orioles to just 4 hits, 2 runs, a 2-run single by Paredes in the 3rd. He had 2 earned runs, and walking batter struck out 4. I agree with this move 100%. I think you take Buehrle out. He had a long inning sitting there as Blue Jays put up 4 in the top of the 7th. What do you think about the move?
I would have liked to see him go one more, just 78 pitches, and he's been sharp. He hasn't been this sharp all season long. Give him one more inning, for the simple fact that John Gibbons then would only need 2 innings from his relievers. Taking him out after 6, he's got to get 3
That's always an interesting question for a manager. Do you want to take Burley out on a real high note? Extend him out there one more inning? Chris Davis, the leadoff batter, lefty on lefty. He handled Davis all night. So it's an argument that you can really argue both sides of it. But I think it's the right move tonight. Burley, as we mentioned, this was his best outing of the year as far as the quality of his pitches. And the way he handled guys that have hit him hard in the past, that was impressive.
That was, I think, the key for him was to handle those guys in the middle of the lineup, and he did that. One other thing to think about in his last start against the Yankees when he beat them, his last start, 5 innings, he threw 77 pitches. So maybe there's something there that you save a few bullets.
Yeah. And you know what? He had not pitched well early in the season, but it's still won games, and now he pitches a gem tonight. We had mentioned how hard Jones, Young, and Davis have hit Burley in the past, and tonight that trio 0 for 7 against Burley.
And one intentional walk in one very big double play off the bat of Delman Young last inning.
John Gibbons might have made the play of the game when he walked Jones to set up the double play, and then got Delman Young to hit into the double play. 2-2 to Steve Pearce. He fouls it off Russell Martin's mask.
He's asking if that's a catch. He got stuck in the face mask.
Indeed, it is not a catch. You can't trap the ball with your equipment unless it hits your glove and then sticks in your mask. And watch this. Let's see what happens here. The ball is fouled directly into his mask and sticks right there. And Russell's going, where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's right there in your mask.
There it is.
And he says to the umpire, he said, I got it. 2-2, 1 out. Osuna in his first inning of relief. And excuse me, foul. J.J. Hardy had to jump out of the way as that ball came right back to him on the on-deck circle.
He's got a big fastball, 95, and you can see Pierce just can't get it out. The check swing. Maybe time for a breaking ball here.
Breaking ball, but not close. Full count. John Gibbons goes to the bullpen with a lot of confidence right now. They have been great over the last 7 games. The opponent's hitting .119. Their whip is under 1, which is always good. And they haven't thrown many pitches. They've thrown a lot of strikes.
And that extra base hit, you see it right there, 1, that came last night. Adam Jones with the home run.
That home run came against Steve Delabar. Delabar struck out the side in the 7th, but Jones hit a 1-out home run. Strike 3 call. Right on the corner. Osuna strikes out Pierce. Good fastball on the outside corner.
He can ride that fastball and put it right on that outside corner. He'll strike all night.
Hey, hockey action going on. The Canadiens and Lightning, game 6, as Montreal is trying to hang in there. It's 2-0 Tampa in the second period. And of course, they could clinch tonight. J.J. Hardy takes strike 1. Osuna has been really sharp. He's thrown a lot of strikes and uses that fastball very effectively. Certainly pitches well beyond his years. He's 20 years old.
It's back-to-back nights for Osuna also. He pitched in last night's game here. An inning, had a strikeout. A 1-2-3 8th inning.
Changeup popped into shallow right. Travis, the second baseman, over into foul territory, and another good inning for Roberto Osuna. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. We'll go to the 8th. Blue Jays have a 6-2 lead over the Orioles.
Baseball Canada and Little League Canada. 2015 stops include Abbotsford, BC, Okotoks, Alberta, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Victoria, BC, and Toronto. BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy is where you go for more details. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. Buck?
Barry, they sure are, and those clinics are a great opportunity for youngsters to get out and get some tips from the pros. New pitcher into the game is T.J. McFarland, making his second appearance.
Now in his third year in the big leagues with the Baltimore Orioles. He was just recalled on May the 8th from their AAA affiliate in Norfolk. And on that day, he threw 3 innings against the Yankees. And there are the numbers from that. Doesn't overpower, but he throws a lot of strikes. And Buck Showalter can use him in a variety of ways. They can use him as a lefty setup guy. You can use him as a long man out of the bullpen. He's also started games for them. Also, Buck Showalter says it's one of his most valuable players down in that bullpen.
The swing guy that can pick you up in tough situations. Pilar rifles this one into the seats. Buck Showalter took a shot with Tommy Hunter. He brought him into the game with 2 outs and just hoped that he could get Encarnacion out. Well, that strategy backfired, so he gets Hunter out of the game quickly.
Yeah, doesn't want to burn him because he might need him in tomorrow's ball game.
Pilar, he lost the grip on that bat. We've seen that a lot tonight. Pilar is 0 for 3. Batting .250 against lefty pitching this season. .263 against righties at the start of this game. That's a foul ball outside of third. Inside. Isn't baseball interesting? Kevin Pilar went to spring training, and the thought was, well, he'll compete for that 4th outfielder's job, and he'll have to just battle for playing time and get at bats whenever they can come. Well, he's played in every game now.
Yeah,
he just plays every day, and he's out there in center field. It's his 34th game. And there's a base hit. That hanging pitch with 2 strikes. He strokes it into left.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Kevin Pillar is aboard for the first time, and Ryan Goins, he's been on base all 3 times. He's 3 for 3. Showing bunt and takes pitch outside.
Blue Jays now have 12 hits tonight. 3 of them for Goins. He's looking for a 4-hit game. He's had 1 in his career.
Against the Red Sox at Fenway last July 28th. He bunts it this end, bunts it foul. Ryan went 4 for 5 in that game. He had a double, drove in 4 runs. He got it started with a bunt single in the 3rd.
Yep, and then he singled in the 5th, and then singled in the 7th, part of that 4-run 7th inning. Blue Jays looking for some tack-on runs right here.
This time he squares and bunts it foul, just barely foul. Manny Machado dove for it. He landed in foul territory, but the ball just barely missed hitting the bag at 3rd.
And I wonder if Gibby's going to ask if he touched that, because if he touched that, that's a fair ball.
Look at the extension here, and he's not going to touch it. And you can see it's barely foul as he lands in foul territory. But that was the question from John Gibbons. Did he hit that? If he hits it, it's a fair ball.
Yep, from that replay, clearly he missed it. What an effort, though, by Machado.
Bouncing ball. Davis, the first baseman, goes second and throws it into left. Pillar is going to head for 3rd, and he'll reach. What a good piece of base running by Kevin Pillar. First, he's thinking about trying to break up 2. Then the ball goes over the shortstop's head into left, and Pillar never hesitated, popped up and advanced to 3rd on the air.
Blue Jays trying to get those tack-on runs, and that's a good start. It looked like Chris Davis was really not sure if he wanted to go to first base or go to second base on this ball. He's made this play a couple of times tonight. You can see he short arms it and throws it out into left field. There's Pillar getting himself up, dusting himself off, and heading to 3rd base. Blue Jays attacking once again.
You see what Pillar did? He looked to the outfield, and because he was looking to the outfield, he saw the baseball that advanced easily to 3rd. Evan Travis with his first at bat of the night. Travis did not start in this game. John Gibbons told us before the game he was just giving him a day off. He'd played a lot, missed 2 games with injuries, and he's been in every ball game. So just a chance to get him a few innings off.
Yep, sore, banged up just a little bit, give him a little bit of a blow. Now he's a chance to drive in a run.
Devin has done that well all season long. He's been a good run producer. Travis with 25 RBIs. Good numbers in clutch situations. Devin leads the Blue Jays in ribbies. Bouncing ball. Hardy, the shortstop, will come home, bounces it, and Pillar's going to be safe. Now they can't find the handle, then Goins moves to 3rd. 2 errors in the inning by the Orioles, and certainly that's not their trademark.
No, they're a fine fielding team. They did something very interesting there. The middle infielders, before the pitch was thrown, started moving in. Watch them. They're in double play depth right here. And now as he comes set, they're going to start bringing the infield in. This is a trick that you have seen teams do in the past, and they're going to try and cut that runoff at the plate. He does everything right except the throw. He bounces it to Caleb Joseph. 1 run scores, and then Goins heads up. He gets to 3rd base.
It's a fielder's choice, an error on the shortstop, E6, and no RBI. But it's a big run. Blue Jays now lead at 7-2. You know who I first saw that play with was Bobby Valentine, managing the Rangers. He would play his infield back just so the hitter thought that a ground ball would give him a run. and then he would charge the infield just as the pitcher was delivering the pitch.
Bring him in on the pitch. I have a feeling that ball gets away.
Boy, this is an ugly inning for the Orioles. 2 errors in the inning. Wild pitch, pass ball gets away from the catcher. Goins scores the 8th Blue Jay run. Ryan's been on base 4 times, and the skipper doesn't look too pleased.
They were out here once again early working on the fundamentals of the game. You see this ball bounces away from Caleb Joseph. Book Showalter had the whole team out here this afternoon working on, it looked like spring training.
Worked on everything. Infield drills, outfield drills, pitchers were all together. He had a mini meeting with the pitchers on the field. They were discussing a lot of baseball fundamentals, I believe.
PFP practice, that's pitcher's fielding practice. They were working on bump plays, a little bit of everything, and hasn't shown up tonight.
Travis at second now. Still nobody out. Carrera swings and misses. It's 2-2. Kevin Pillar singled to start the inning against McFarland, and then Goins reached on the fielder's choice in an error. There's the strikeout. That's the first out of the inning. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. David DeJesus with 13 RBIs. Chris Archer is out of the game. Kevin Jepson is in relief for the Rays, and Nathan Eovaldi 7 innings of 5-hit ball to this point. But it's a 2-2 game in St. Pete. Donaldson puts a charge in a deep center field. Jones will watch this one sail away. Home run, Donaldson. Number 8 for the Blue Jays' third baseman. His second and third RBI of the night.
Boy, Josh Donaldson, we told you he's an RBI guy. With those runners on base, he just lights up, and he's going to light up TJ McFarland here. First pitch swinging, and really no doubt. Straightaway center field home run number 8. He's got 24 RBIs now.
Donaldson is 10 for 22 against lefty pitching, and they've knocked TJ McFarland out of the game. Brad Brock into the game when we come back. The Blue Jays have blown it wide open. Second pitcher of the inning for the Orioles is Brad Brock. This is his 12th appearance of the season.
Yeah, at first, though, in 6 days. There are his numbers in 11 games. 18 strikeouts and 6 walks.
Right-handers hitting .321 against Brock. Bautista doubled his last time up and scored the run in the 7th ahead of Edwin's second home run. Jose's hit the ball hard 3 times tonight.
Yeah, man, that hit that you were just talking about, that double, that ball was blistered off of Tillman, his last pitch of the night.
Blue Jays with 3 home runs here tonight, and they have closed the ground on the front runners. Houston, we'll see them on Thursday. The Yankees hit 5 last night in Tampa Bay. Orioles and the Blue Jays neck and neck. Chris Davis and Adam Jones leading their home run charge.
You know what that double did? It kept the Blue Jays streak alive of hitting at least 1 double.
31 straight games the Blue Jays have hit doubles in now. And they've had an extra base hit in all 34 games they've played this year. Bautista continues to make gyrations with that shoulder as if it's barking at him a little bit. We're in the 8th, and the Blue Jays have scored 4 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th. It's an explosive team, and they can strike at any point in their lineup. And again tonight, the 8 and 9 spots in the order have been on base a lot.
Yeah, doing the job, setting the tables. Edwin Encarnacion, that's the best part about tonight, is seeing him start to hit the ball with authority again.
Well, he took a walk in the 4th. He scored 3 runs. He's driven in 3 runs and hit 2 homers. And Bautista will take ball 4. So he will once again pass the baton to Edwin Encarnacion. When Edwin gets it locked in, it's difficult to get him out. And when you think about this home run hitter, we mentioned he hit 16 home runs last May. He has 2 home runs tonight. Trying to hit 3.
He's got that timing going. Watch this. I don't think he was trying to hit a soft single to right field.
Edwin has 1 3-homer game that came in 2010 in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. Pulled foul.
There are certain things where you can watch hitters, and we've been watching Edwin for a lot of years. They do certain things, and you say, okay, he's ready to start hitting. One of those is start to take borderline pitches, and he's keeping his weight back. Well, for Edwin, it looks like that little rock that he's getting. You see his legs, how he's getting his timing with his lower half. And when he starts doing that, that's when the ball starts carrying.
This time he strikes out, so he is out number 2 here in the 8th. Russell Martin's had a 2-hit game. He had an 0-2 single through the right side of the infield in the 4th inning and had a little flare over the first baseman into right in the 7th. Martin's average now at .293. He's raised his batting average almost 100 points since the 1st of May.
That's amazing. That is amazing. But I guess this is what everybody was expecting from this team. They knew that they were a good offensive team. Again, they lead the American League in runs scored. They're going to add to that total, and they're in double digits again in runs scored.
It's a prolific offense, and they have been stymied when they run up against tough pitchers. They did in last night's game. But when they get their entire complement of players back, that's not going to be as consistent, that's for sure. But what they have is they have a lineup that can beat up on those average pitchers in the major leagues, and they'll wear them out.
They hit a lot of doubles. We've been talking about that for years. That's a sign of a very good hitting team, a team that hits a lot of doubles, because you got to use the whole field.
So Martin skies it into center field. Jones has plenty of room. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays score 4 more in the 8th. They've taken a commanding 10-2 lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn.
Sign up at nextissue.ca/baseball and get an extended 60-day free trial. And guys, how's this for a great baseball story? I've been asked a lot about the whereabouts of Ricky Romero, who was let go by the Blue Jays a few weeks ago. Last night, he was signed by the San Francisco Giants to a minor league deal. I talked to him today, asked him how he's doing. He says he's going to head to Arizona, continue extended spring training, and work on his rehab. He says he is thrilled. He's so excited. He doesn't want to get into a game until he's 100%, but he is getting close. And what a great opportunity this would be for Ricky Romero to get a second chance in a great organization like the San Francisco Giants.
Sure would be. Barry, that's a great story, and everybody is pulling for Ricky Romero to be healthy again and get back to pitching professional baseball. Aaron Luke will take over for Osuna as the Blue Jays now just want to close out this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, finish it off. Aaron Luke comes out of the bullpen for his 14th game of the season. He can really tie up those right-handed batters. They're hitting 172. Aaron last pitched. That was against Boston, where he picked up the hold and then he had a couple of strikeouts, so he is well rested.
Loop is very effective when he gets proper rest, and Goins looked like he stumbled before he got to that ball. He was reaching for it, and he may have caught his spike, and he was in the process of falling down before he got to that ball. And then air on Goins. Watch him stumble right there. And that threw him off balance. The ball kicked off his glove, and he'll be charged with an error.
Normally sure-handed. That time footwork got in the way. That is his 5th error of the season.
So Snyder reaches, and now this is the number 9 hitter, Caleb Joseph. The Orioles have committed 3 errors in this game. That's the first error by the Blue Jays. Joseph 0 for 2. He's behind Loop 0 and 2. There's a fly ball to right. Colabello positioned perfectly. One down.
The 2015 Honda CR-V is the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year.
Manny Machado, a pair of doubles tonight. He's done a nice job leading off for the Orioles. He drives this ball to the alley, and that ball is going to be caught by Colabello. Now the ball drops out of his glove before he could take it out of his glove. He had it when he landed on the turf, and then as the glove slammed up against the grass, it popped out of his glove. And of course, you've got to take it out of your glove.
Boy, that ball hung up there a long time for Colabello, and it's going to be slicing back to him off the bat of Machado. He gets there with a dive. It's in his glove, and then it just rolls out at the last second. Watch this. It's in the webbing. He hits. It's down, and it just rolls out of the glove, right off the top of the glove. And you're right. You physically have to, on those types of plays, take the ball out of the glove and throw it back into the infield to register a catch.
Paredes grounds to Donaldson, second for one, back to first, double play. So all of the miscues in that inning didn't cost the Blue Jays a thing. Travis completes the double play to end the eighth. We'll go to the ninth. The Blue Jays lead 10-2. Start of his young career will go to the mound tomorrow night. Will be opposed by Miguel Gonzalez as the Orioles and Blue Jays wrap up this three-game series. Sanchez had 5 walks in that game against the Red Sox, but allowed just 2 hits and pitched into the 8th inning.
He's getting better and better, isn't he? Getting deeper into the ball games. You're just starting to see him mature on the mound and learn a little something about himself. I think it's going to be a great challenge for him tomorrow, and it looks like it's for a chance to win the series.
Chris Colabello goes after that breaking ball. Colabello's had another good night. Couple of hits tonight. Drove in the first Blue Jay run of the game in the 4th. He gave a big college try to make that catch off the bat of Manny Machado in the bottom of the 8th. Machado was credited with a single as that ball squirted out the end of his glove.
That would have been a great play if he could have held on to it. It looks like he had it in the glove, and it just squirted out.
And he was looking right at it as he was working his way out of that glove. That's got to be a frustrating feeling. Colabello knew it. Down and away. Strike 3. Good pitch from Brad Brock. Gets the first out of the top half of the ninth. Brock got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning. He had a strikeout and got Russell Martin to fly out to end it. Kevin Pillar had a leadoff single in the 8th. Came around to score the 7th Blue Jay run. Ball and a strike to the center fielder. Brian Tepera had an impressive major league debut, 2 perfect innings of relief, and he's looking forward to family and friends in Houston. He's a Texas native. Lives about 45 minutes from Houston. You get a chance to see a lot of his family and friends. The first time as a big leaguer in Texas.
It's not like Brett Cecil right here, very close to home. Get the pitch in front of family and friends.
Down and away. It's 2-2 to Pilar.
So can we take this time right now, as it's 10-2, and wish Yogi Berra a happy birthday today?
Absolutely. Yogi Berra turns 90 today. And it's a good reminder from you, but it's a terrific opportunity to wish Yogi a happy birthday. Pilar is called out for the swing, so that's the second out of the inning.
He's an American icon, I think. And I went back, you and I have been always talking about winning championships and that Yogi Berra had 10 World Series rings, and I told Derek Jeter, well, hey, you got 5, you're halfway there. I went back and looked. He played in 21 World Series, either as a player, a coach, or a manager.
Isn't that something?
He has 13 World Series rings.
Now, how many second place rings?
8. I know they don't give rings for second place, but 13 World Series rings as a player.
Well, you get a championship ring.
You get a championship ring. So, I mean, he has done it all. So, happy birthday.
But Jim Palmer was in here talking about Yogi, and the 2 Hall of Famers have shared a lot of time together in Cooperstown. Telling some great stories about Yogi, and everybody does. There's Palmer, the Hall of Fame pitcher. Brian Goins goes after that ball in the dirt. Brian's had a good night, 3-hit night. He's been on base all 4 times. He scored a run in the 8th. He had 3 singles. Well, foul. This is where you really want to grind to get that 4th hit. He's had 1 4-hit game in his career.
I was thinking the same thing when you said he's had a good night. Well, you got a chance to make it a great night right here. And the good ones, the good hitters, they keep battling. They get greedy. They want that 1 more hit.
Came into this game batting .219. Now his average is at .250. A couple of multi-hit games and everything is right again.
Yeah, it doesn't take long when you don't have a lot of at-bats.
And he had been hitting in tough luck over the last week. Got robbed of an extra base hit in last night's game. Full count. Blue Jays have 10 runs on 13 hits. Evan Travis will bat next if Goins can reach. Goins can't believe it. He's called out on strike, so Brock ends up striking out the side in the top of the ninth. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Brian Tepera will make his 2nd big league appearance. St. Petersburg and Tampa. They're playing in the third period. It is 3-0 Lightning, and Montreal is going to have to scramble here in the third period, but that is on right now, so make sure you check that out. We are in the bottom of the ninth. Ryan Tepera making his second big league appearance, and his first one was awfully impressive.
That was, very impressive against the Red Sox on the 10th. A no decision through 2 innings. Had a strikeout in that game. Tepera just called up to make that major league debut. 175 minor league games. He finally gets a call to the big leagues, and was very impressive.
He moved to the bullpen in 2014, and on Sunday when he made that appearance, his mom and dad were in Toronto for Mother's Day, and got a chance to see their son in his first major league game. Dane Johnson answered the phone down there and told Tepera, "Hey, you've got the next inning, the 7th, and oh, by the way, it's Pedroia, Ortiz, and Hanley Ramirez. Go get him, youngster."
And he did, huh?
6 up, 6 down. Not unlike what he's facing here in his second appearance. It's going to be Jones, Young, and Davis. That's the way it is pitching in the big leagues.
Yeah.
It's the big boy league.
No freebies.
Tepera, as we mentioned, began his career as a starter, but he seems to have found a home in the bullpen. He's got a nice little cut fastball. Throws a lot of strikes. Blue Jays have made a lot of changes in their bullpen. They have tried a lot of different combinations. Of course, Miguel Castro is back down in the minor leagues. They had Colt Hines here to start the season. Steve Delabar started in the minor leagues. They're just trying to come up with the right combination of arms to pitch effectively out of this bullpen.
It seems to be working itself out.
Tepera knocks it down, and he'll run it over toward first base. 1 down. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central. Here's Ken Reed and Ivanka Osman. Well, you got to make sure you check that out. I'm sure that's going to be interesting, and it's all coming up right after this ball game. This is Delman Young. He pulls it on the ground. Goins gathers himself. 2 up, 2 down for Tepera here in the ninth. Good bounce back game for the Blue Jays after being handcuffed by Ubaldo Jimenez in last night's game. Orioles won that game 5-2. Jimenez picking up his 3rd win. Jack Britton with his 7th save, and as we mentioned earlier, it'll be Sanchez against Gonzalez in the finale tomorrow night. Chris Davis cuts on the first pitch. Mark Buehrle's in line for his 5th win against 2 losses. That's what it's all about, Pat.
Yeah, he got a lot of runs to work with in his first couple of starts and pitched in and out of trouble. Now he seems to be rounding into form. Last start against the Yankees, very good for 5 innings. Tonight, probably his best outing of the season. 6 innings for Buehrle, just 2 earned runs and 1 walk.
It's especially impressive given the hitters that he neutralized tonight. Don Gibbons knew that it's a tough lineup for Buehrle. And Gibbons made maybe the play of the game when he walked Adam Jones to set up the double play. Delman Young has more hits against Buehrle than anybody. And he got him into a double play. Hot shot, 1 hopper to Goins. Ball game. The Blue Jays evened the series at a game apiece, and they had a big night offensively. 4 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and they beat Baltimore 10-2.
Yeah, Tillman and Buehrle were matching zeros through the first couple of innings. The Orioles scored a couple of runs, but by the 7th inning, they finally got to Tillman and then blew this game open, and John Gibbons could just relax just a little bit and win this one 10-2. Tomorrow they get Sanchez and a chance to win the series. A big night for Edwin Encarnacion.
Encarnacion with a pair of home runs. He drove in 3. Bautista had a double. Donaldson added a home run as well. It'll be the series rubber match tomorrow night. Sanchez against Gonzalez. Here's Sportsnet Central, Ken and Ivanka.